This is my ERD design, and it looks a little crazy because I had more ideas initially than what I ended up implementing. So basically, the idea is if you guys are gamers, you've probably created a character at some point at the beginning of a game, like Elden Ring or World of Warcraft in this example. And basically, I'm pulling information from the official Blizzard or World of Warcraft API, which has information about the races that are in the game or the classes that are in the game. And then it also has information about all of the items that are in the game. And originally, I was setting it up so that way every character had a certain amount of bag slots or had a certain amount of bags, and then each bag had a bag slot, and then in each of those bags you could have an item, and a similar thing for like a bank account. But I ended up removing the bag idea and the bank account idea, and then these are just extra classes I removed over here because I was gonna have the classes affiliated with the races and then connect those to the character, but I ended up just connecting each of them separately but directly to the character class. And then these were the initial endpoints that I created. But again, I have the bank accounts and the bags in here as well. So I mostly ended up just using the equipped inventory and the characters endpoints. And then, of course, the login and register at endpoints. Give me 1 second. So this is the website where the API endpoints are located. So the main ones that I used from Blizzard were the item API. So I mostly just used this endpoint here. You put in the path variable for the item ID, and then it gives you the information for that specific item. And then I used the ones for the playable class, and I used the index because that gives you all of the classes, which there's really not too many. There's less than 10. And then same thing for playable race. There's like less than 10 races, I believe. So I'll give you a little demo. 1 second here. Okay. So I got to run the application, and that runs my API. Initially, when I started creating this project, I created a few demos over here, which printed out the items and the classes and the races for me within within IntelliJ. So that way I knew for sure that the way I was implementing the API was working. Okay, so this is the UI. This is basically like Postman. So some of these you don't need to be logged in or authenticated for, but some of them you do. Okay, so this is for the equipped inventory. So if you want to get a specific character's inventory, you would put in that character's ID here, and then you would get it. And then if you want to add items to that equipped inventory, you would do that here with the put. And then if you want to get the races that are in the Postgres local database, you would do that here, and then you can add races as well. So the reason I have the ability to add the races and add the items and the classes is because down here you can pull the official races, the official items, and the official classes from the Blizzard API, and then you can use that information and add them to the local database. And then from there, you can start creating the characters. So I'll give you a little demo to try it out. And then I just use the one of the accounts that was already created. So it's just user and then password. And then you click execute. Then down here, you get the 200 code and you get your token. So you copy that. Then you go up here to authorize, paste it in, and now you're logged in. So I'll give you an example for the official ones. If you want to get all the official races, you would just click try it out, and then execute. And it gives you the 200 code. And these are all of the races that are in the official World of Warcraft Classic game. So then you can just copy that information and then add it to the local database if you want. One of the cool things that I did was, well, it would be the same thing for the items here, and then the same thing for the classes. But the cool thing that I did with the items is there's so many items in the game that if I wanted to pull all of the items, it would probably take a while to go through all of them. So just for the sake of the project, I like set it up so you put in a start ID and then an end ID. So then it like parses through all of those and then gives you that range of item IDs. So let me see here. So this item ID is 19019. So I know that that's a good one. So I'll start with like 19002 and then I'll go up to 19019 and then execute. And then it should give me the range of all the items in the game within that range of IDs. So these are the names of the items, and then it gives you like some more information like the type. I could have put in like more information here using additional classes, but I didn't implement that part of it yet. So let me see here. So I'll show you how to create a character real quick. Gotta try it out. And then I know that there's an item ID of 1 for race and then an item ID for 2. And then you can just make up a character name. So I'll just put like Samus and then execute. And then it shows you down here code 201. And then it shows you that this is all the information associated with that character. This is the serialized character ID that was created. This is the user ID number from the user that's logged in at the time of creating the character. This is the name I chose, and then the race and the class that I chose. So I'll use this character ID number and pull up the equipped inventory, because when you create a character, it creates an equipped inventory, but it starts out blank because you haven't added any items yet. So you got to try it out. Then you type in 4 for the character ID, and it shows you that there's no items in the equipped inventory. So if you want to add items to the equipped inventory, you would go to put and then try it out and then add it to the character ID 4. And I could have created a DTO class to implement this part of it, so it didn't ask for the character ID, but I didn't get a chance to do that. So I'm going to just put some random item ID numbers that I know are in the database. And you can put multiple of the same item just for the sake of this project. So then I put execute, and then it gives you code 200, and then it shows that those item IDs are now in the equipped inventory for that character. And now that those are added to the equipped inventory, I'm going to pull up the updated equipped inventory. And then it gives you a code of 200. And it shows you all the item IDs that are in the equipped inventory now. It shows you the information about the character. And then it shows you the names of each of the items that you added to the equipped inventory. And that's pretty much it for the most part. You can delete a character as well. But I don't know if you guys have any questions. The only other thing I can think about on the code side to talk about is for this API, I needed to get an access token from Blizzard. So I set up this service class. And the hard part about this is, according to the documentation, you needed this specific form URL encoded content type. So I had to set this up here in order to post my client credentials, which are listed in these variables up top here. And then once it gets back the access token, it's returned here. And then I had to convert it into a string to be used in another part of the project. And the access token expires after 24 hours. So I had to set it up where every time you do a GET request from the official WoW API, it gets a new access token. So that's pretty much it.